It's Night of the Podcast.
Welcome, horror fiends, to Night of the Podcast, a one-man horror show where I, Brian, talk to you about all things spooky, creepy horror and Halloween-related. This episode, I'm going to be talking about the 2017 direct-TV movie, Leatherface. That's why I got my Texas Chainsaw shirt on for everyone. Yeah, I believe I wore this one during the unboxing of Leatherface back there. I think this is the only TCM shirt that I own, so I figured why not wear it for this episode. Alrighty, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre, great movie, phenomenal movie, one of the best movies, horror movies, I think, that has ever been made. Leatherface, not one of the best horror movies that has ever been made. What is Leatherface about? It's kind of an origin story, prequel, reboot, reimagining, re-imaging, whatever you want to say, of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. It was directed by Alexandra Bustillo, I'm not entirely sure on the name, and Julianne Murray. So those are the two people that directed the movie. They also directed a phenomenal movie called Inside. If you've never seen Inside, you should definitely check it out. I believe the remake is coming out this year, the American version. The original is amazing. I absolutely love that movie. I think it's a really, really great movie. I don't know, again, how this remake is going to be, but they directed that film, so my expectations were high for Leatherface. Then the reviews rolled in for Leatherface, and my expectations went down drastically. So I went into this movie not expecting that much, and I got more out of it than I anticipated. So the movie takes place back, I believe, in 1955 in Texas, and it starts off with the scene at the Sawyer residence. Leatherface is a child, and it's his birthday, and they're having a birthday cake, and you find out that they have someone captive in this scene. And the whole opening sequence is trying to get this young Leatherface, who has to be, I don't remember if they say his age or not, has to be in the realm of 5 to 8 years old, to kill this person who was stealing off their property. In this opening scene, there was some, what I felt was bad acting. I did not like a lot of what was going on. I didn't like how it was being portrayed, and I felt it was kind of cheesy and unnecessary in a roundabout way. There was an alternate opening which was filmed for the movie, which you can watch in the deleted scenes, and I didn't like that one either. I thought that was almost worse. It was really short and really fast. So I didn't really care for the opening sequence of the movie. And then from there, it goes to, you find out that Leatherface, or the child that is Bub Sawyer. But it's something Sawyer, begins with a B. You find out that he is in an insane asylum, a mental institution, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, basically they escape, and then they're on the run from the police. That's the gist of the movie. That's basically how it goes. When it comes to character development, I didn't mind it in this film. A lot of people hated Leatherface and didn't really like it. The character development was lacking to some degree. You didn't fully care about all of the characters that were involved in the movie, though I did find myself slightly attached to the hostage in this one. So it didn't play out like a typical Texas Chainsaw movie, because in those films, you usually have Leatherface running around with his family, just like killing people, capturing people, holding them hostage, torturing them, and that whole thing. And it didn't really play out that way. So it didn't feel like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, which I liked because it was a new take on the character and the franchise to an extent. Now, it does take place in Texas. thus Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So that's consistent. The warm color palette I liked a lot in this movie. It felt really draining and tiresome and hot and dirty. And I think that's the feel that you want to go for in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. And they pulled it off well. Some of the dialogue is whatever, some of the scenes are whatever. There's a very weird sex scene that involves a dead body. Won't go into that. But a lot of weird stuff in this movie, but overall, not a bad movie. Incredibly violent movie, yes. It is violent. Not over the top gore. You're not hitting hostile levels, but it is a gory movie. It definitely has its moments and its scenes where it is violent. Now, at the conclusion of this movie, I was slightly disappointed. I'm not going to give anything away because I typically don't, and I try to stay spoiler free. So, the end of this movie was fine. I didn't have a problem with it either. It got a little weird, a little corny, and that's okay. I didn't mind that. But in the realm of Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, I thought this one fit in very well. I thought it was one of the better ones in the franchise, considering Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which is beyond me why people love that movie. I think it's a steaming pile of crap. I don't know how anyone gets through that film and thinks that this is a good piece of cinema. I usually find myself struggling to make it through part 2. I look at my watch and I wonder, like, what freaking time is it? Feels like a 2.5 hour movie, and I think it's an hour and 25. That movie is not good. Part 3, Leatherface, is decent. The remake, I'm probably one of the few that actually liked the remake. I thought it was a pretty solid movie. It doesn't compare to the original. None of them compare to the original, but I thought it was a pretty good movie. Regeneration, I won't even go there. And then, what is it? Beginning, and that one was okay as well. So, 3D. Can't forget Texas Chainsaw 3D. Not good either. So, in the realm of Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, this one is actually good. I enjoyed it, and I think it's worth a watch. I know you can watch it on Amazon if you buy it. I am lucky enough to have the Netflix DVD subscription, so I put it in my queue and I saw it on Blu-ray, and that's how I watched this one. Again, I liked it, and with that being said, I'm going to have to give Leatherface from 2017 6.5 out of 10 chainsaws. Yeah, I'm giving it 6.5. I initially rated it 6, and then I decided I wanted to go back and give it another half a chainsaw. I liked it more after I thought about it. It still was not a great movie, and it is flawed in a lot of ways. But as I stated, in the realm of Texas Chainsaw movies, I felt it was a solid entry into the franchise. I don't know if they're going to be making any more or how they're going to be going about handling this property from now on, but I did like the movie. Well, that's all I have for this episode, so thanks for listening and tuning in, everyone. You can always like the Facebook page at Night of the Podcast. You can follow me personally on Instagram at XXHalloweenXX, or you can subscribe to the SoundCloud, iTunes, or even the YouTube page at Night of the Podcast, or click the button right there, or watch an older episode right here. Thanks again, everyone, and until next time, good night, good fright. Be careful what lurks when you turn out the lights.